Here at IPC, we take pride in the quality of support we offer our customers. From the initial stage of project planning to the final stage of the installation process, we are here to help with any issues that may arise. And it is for that reason we are providing our recommendations for a successful installation. Prior to ordering your InnerFlow liner pipe, certain details need to be confirmed. The measurements of the existing structure are critical to ensure your liner pipe will fit properly. IPC recommends taking vertical and horizontal measurements every 10 feet to determine whether the pipe has sections that may have been deflected during the original installation or have begun to collapse due to the culvert ending its useful life. InnerFlow pipe is made from durable and slightly flexible materials. However, the InnerFlow joint cannot withstand extreme deflections often associated with bends or angles. Check with your sales representative if bends or angles are present, as they can assist with the creation of a custom solution. To determine the length of pipe needed, measure the culvert from inlet to outlet. We recommend adding at least 8 inches extra to each end, as HDPE pipe expands and contracts with temperatures and could result in too short of a liner pipe. Most agencies require within their specifications that a certain amount of additional length of liner pipe should be used. Lastly, as we manufacture each order specifically to job site conditions, we need to know what lengths of pipe can be used without obstructing right-of-ways, utilities, or any structures that might be an issue. We can supply pipe lengths up to 50 feet, however any custom length can be created to meet job site requirements. Based on decades of contractor feedback, we have created a list of the ideal tools and equipment to help make your installation as easy as possible. 2 sliding choker cables of adequate length, clevises, miscellaneous hand tools, a powder actuated nail gun, 3-inch nails with washers, PVC hangers, 2x4s, and an appropriately sized machine to help maneuver the pipe. When choosing an excavator or backhoe, keep in mind the weight of each piece of pipe, the combined weight of the entire length of pipe, the reach of the equipment, and the access to the job site. These tools provide the safest, easiest, and quickest way to install InnerFlow. Piping, by nature, has the ability to move on its own with help from gravity, unless it is secured by rigging or chalked into place. Never stand in the way of the pipe when on unlevel ground, as pipes can roll and become a crush hazard. Always take every precaution necessary to avoid injury. Never roll pipe off of the trailer, as bodily injury, property, or pipe damage may occur. When handling pipe, always use proper rigging to avoid accidents. The pipe itself is extremely durable, but the joints require special handling to prevent damage. Do not drag or pull pipes along ground. Always pick the pipe up and set down in the desired area. Under no circumstances should the ends of the pipe be pushed on. Damage to the joint may occur. Before taking delivery of the liner pipe, ensure the landing yard or job site has enough room for pipe storage. InnerFlow pipe should be stored on flat ground. If there is not enough room at the job site to store the entire order, schedule your deliveries accordingly. The area around the end of the existing structure should be excavated to allow approximately 1 to 2 foot below grade of the existing structure, 1 to 2 foot on each side of the existing structure, and at least 5 foot longer than the longest stick of pipe being inserted. More space is better to allow the liner pipes to be aligned properly while connecting the joints. Any debris should be removed from the existing culvert. Cleaning before all other steps allows for all work to be performed in a clean environment. The easiest way to clean a culvert is to use a vac truck with a jetter system. All liner pipes will require grout pump ports. Ideally, and in most situations, 2-inch Schedule 40 PVC can be used as the grout pump ports. However, other sizes can be used based on individual site conditions. To protect the pump ports from being crushed and to reduce the possibility of the liner pipe from floating upwards during the grouting process, 2x4 blocking shall be installed approximately shoulder width apart on the top of the pipe. The grout pump ports can be attached to the top of the existing structure by using metal PVC hangers and a powder actuated nail gun. Depending on the project's pipe diameter, length, and other site conditions, multiple pump ports and varying lengths may be required to ensure proper grouting without overpressuring the liner pipe. In any condition, leave 2 to 3 foot of PVC outside of the existing structure to allow grout hose connections to be made. If the InnerFlow pipe is going to be slip-lined into a multi-plate culvert, additional 2x4s can be used as runners along the bottom of the culvert to reduce the risk of damaging the liner pipe and to avoid the liner pipe from getting caught on bolts and nuts. The blocking and runners can also be used to correct and control the new flow line during the grouting process by lifting the liner pipe up in low spots or pushing the liner pipe down in high spots. At this point, we are now ready to install the InnerFlow liner pipe. Using a sliding choker cable, lift the first section of pipe into the work area. When slip lining, always install the pipe with the female joint leading upstream. Slide the first piece of InnerFlow pipe into the existing structure. When pushing inwards, ensure the liner pipe stays level and straight. Do not raise the end or pull to the side. Push the liner inwards until approximately 4 foot of the liner is remaining outside of the existing structure. This will provide enough pipe to use when tying off with a cable to prevent the first piece from sliding inwards when connecting the second piece. Once the lead piece is secured, install the supplied gasket on the male joint in the gasket channel. Be certain to clean any debris out of the channel. Using the supplied caulk sealant, apply a 1/4 inch bead directly behind the hook on the male joint. This helps keep debris from obstructing the seal provided by the gasket. Rig the second section of the liner pipe with a sliding choker cable and carefully lower into the work area. Carefully direct the male and female ends together. Ensure the joint is piloted. Using a second sliding choker cable, tie off the first section of pipe and secure to a fixed structure. Using a hook point on an excavator and backing up is a quick and efficient way to do so. Apply a slow, even, inward pressure while focusing on keeping the second piece of liner pipe straight and level. As pressure is applied, the first section of liner pipe may slide inwards before the choker cable tightens enough to hold the pipe in place. Continue applying inward pressure, and as the joint begins to beld together, try to avoid letting off of pressure as the process will have to begin again. The joint will make a noticeable sound when it is completely joined together. This noise may be less noticeable in warmer weather. Once the joint is completely together, there may be approximately a 1/4 inch gap or seam around the pipe. This is expected and it will not cause any issues with the seal of the joint. In colder weather, the pipe becomes less flexible. It may be necessary to warm the pipe material on the female joint to help make the connection easier. Release the sliding choker cable from the first section of pipe, and with continued inward pressure, push both sections of pipe into the existing structure. Repositioning your sliding choker cable may be necessary if your piece of equipment is out of reach. If releasing the cable when a substantial amount of pipe is still in the trench, support the end of the pipe with blocking to help prevent unnecessary stress to the joint. Slide the cable to the end of the pipe and begin pushing straight and level. Again, leave approximately 4 feet of liner pipe outside of the existing structure. The process is ready to repeat until all sections of the liner pipe are installed. Once the pipe is slid into its final position, carefully lift each end of the liner pipe and slide a few inches of blocking underneath as far back as you can. This will provide spacing around the entire liner pipe to help build an adequate bulkhead. When building bulkheads, use a generic concrete 3000 psi curb mix at a 1-inch slump. The bulkhead should be at least 18 inches thick. Start at the bottom and push as much material into the space as possible. As the concrete material approaches the sides at 3 and 9 o'clock, have 3 pieces of PVC cut to approximately 3 foot in length. These will be used as vent tubes. Insert 1 vent tube on each side and have it rest in a level position. Begin packing more concrete on top of the vent tubes and work your way to the top of the liner pipe. Pack concrete around the previously installed pump ports and insert the last vent tube at the top 12 o'clock position. Trowel the face of the bulkhead to give the pipe a finished look. Allow adequate time for the bulkheads to cure before pumping grout. IPC recommends using a lightweight cellular grout material with a 150 psi 28-day break test. However, each project may have its own specifications. Set up pump hoses to pump grout to the downstream end first. This prevents air pockets from occurring. When pumping, the outside pressure on the liner pipe should never exceed 2 psi. If too much pressure is built up, switching to a different grout pump port may be needed, or there may be a block in the hose. Using the vent tubes that were installed during the bulkhead process, a tape measure can be inserted to track where the grout is inside of the void. Once grout flows out of the vent tubes, use a fabric to plug the vent. Once grout makes its way through each vent tube, on each end, the pipe is completely full and pumping should be stopped immediately. If the void area is particularly large or there is considerable slope to the structure, stage grouting may be necessary. Stage grouting is the process of pumping a portion of the material along the bottom of the pipe and allowing the material to set up and relieve pressure before pumping more material. Once the grouting is complete, bust the PVC pipe out of the bulkhead. Use a cement mortar mix and trowel to fill the hole and face off to give a finished appearance. If installing an oval InnerFlow liner, one additional step is needed. Once the grouting is complete, the temporary wooden struts need to be removed. This can be done by working from either end. Remove the first horizontal strut by either knocking it out with a hammer or hooking a chain and pulling with an excavator. Then knock out the diagonal board. Use a chain and wrap around the next 2 horizontal struts. Pay special attention to where the diagonal board is pointing on the opposite end. The chain should be tight to the side where the diagonal board is pointing towards. These 2 horizontal boards will typically fall out while leaving the remaining struts still in place. At this point, there should be enough flexibility in the side runner to wrap the chain around and shift the strut sideways. Remove the strut completely, and then the project is complete. Thank you for your interest in our InnerFlow liner pipe and for taking the time to learn the proper way to install the product. We know this will help for a successful installation, and we look forward to supplying you with your next InnerFlow liner pipe.